Hi, grade 2 students. Good morning. We shall now proceed with your lesson in science. You still have me, Teacher Frances, as we discuss your lesson for this week. What will we need? Consider these things with you. You must have your science textbook, a pencil, a ruler, and a scale. Okay. As continuation of our lesson, we will have today properties of matter. Say properties of matter. Great. Let us now read our objectives. First, define the properties of matter and classify objects using physical properties. You may now open your textbook on the following pages: 18 to 19, 20 to 21, and 22 to 23. Have you found the pages? Allow me to read with you the properties of matter. Different kinds of matter have different properties. Whenever we say property, it is something about an object that you can observe with your senses. Do you still remember your five senses? All right. These are your sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smell, sense of taste, and sense of touch. Great. You can describe matter by telling about its properties. Among those properties, the number one is weight. It is a property of matter. Weight is how heavy or light something is. You can measure weight with a scale. We are still on page 18. Kids, your task is to find an object in your room where you are right now. First, tell its color and measure its weight. How are we going to measure the weight again? You have to use a scale. Okay, take your time. Let's proceed. Okay, on page 19, you have color and texture. Color is a property also of matter. This is the second one. Matter can be brown, purple, blue, or any other color you can think of. You could have the combination of the basic colors. All right. The number three, texture. Texture is a property of matter. Texture is how something feels. Objects can feel smooth or rough. The top of a table is smooth. A dry sponge is rough. Texture can be more than just rough and smooth. Think about how you describe the feel of objects. Excellent. It could be hard, soft, oily, bumpy, sticky, gritty, or fluffy. Okay, kids, we are still on the same page. You are given the instructions. Find a yellow object in the picture. Then tell about its texture. Can you see all those yellow objects? Great. Write your answer on the space provided. You must consider smooth objects have a flat surface and rough objects do not. Okay, on the given task, you could have written, the yellow bin on the shelf is smooth. We shall now proceed on page 20. Your fourth and fifth properties of matter are shape and size. Shape is a property of matter. Matter can be different shapes. such as round, flat, or square. Now, take a look at your book. There's a picture there of book and the pillows. How do the properties of these objects compare? What? Excellent. They are all rectangles. Let us proceed. Size is a property of matter too. Matter can be big or small. Matter can be long or short. You can use tools to measure the size of objects. You can use a ruler to measure small objects, or a meter stick to measure large objects. Now, my question is, what words do we use to describe size? Can you name some? All right, we could have big, small, tall, or short. Now, kids, your task on pages 20 and 21 is written. The instructions is, draw an X on two objects you would measure with a ruler, and circle two objects you would measure with a meter stick. Bear in your mind that we make use of ruler to measure small objects and a meter stick to measure large objects. Take your time. Continue with your task on page 21. The instructions: measure the length of the picture of the picnic blanket in centimeters. Get your ruler now and start measuring it. Then write your answer on the space provided. Great job! Alright kids, we are now on page 22. Take a look at the picture. We are now on the sixth property of matter, sink or float. Whether an object sinks or floats is a property of matter. The golf ball sinks at the bottom of the vase. The table tennis ball floats at the top of the vase. Now, my question is, how do you decide if an object will sink or float? Great idea! It could be about the object's shape and size, or it may suggest that the amount of matter present or size of the object will affect whether it will sink or float. Now, look at the picture of the vase. Draw another object that you think will sink. Take your time. How's your work? Have you drawn another object that you think will sink? Good! It could be a rock. Alright, your additional task. Circle the object below that you think will float. Which among these two? Is it the puzzle block or the car? Excellent! The block. Alright, students, follow me on page 23. We have the seventh property of matter, temperature. Say temperature. Temperature is a property of matter. It tells how hot or cold something is. A thermometer is a tool that measures temperature. A thermometer can measure the temperature of the air. The red liquid in the thermometer below goes up when it's getting warmer, while the red liquid goes down when it is getting colder. The number next to the top of the red liquid is the temperature. Now, my question is, how do you read the temperature on a thermometer? Okay, we may look at the height of the red liquid. Then, you see which number or mark on the scale the liquid is even with. That number is the temperature of the object in degrees Celsius or in Fahrenheit. Afterwards, you may do the task. Alright kids, to accomplish the task, you have these pictures of thermometers. The first one shows that it is 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, for the second thermometer, you have to fill it in to show how 5 degrees Celsius or 41 degrees Fahrenheit would look. Put now the red liquid line. Take your time. Excellent. You must put the red liquid line between the 0 and 10. Great work! As we find the difference in temperature between those two thermometers, we found out that their difference is 25 degrees Celsius. All right, finally, remember these points. First, a matter has its properties. Whenever we say property, it is something about an object that you can observe with the use of your five senses. And the second point is the seven properties are weight, color, texture, shape, size, sink or float, and temperature. Great work! For the last reminder, you have a worksheet entitled Matter All Around Us. You have to print and answer the worksheet sent by your teacher in WhatsApp. Then, send it back to her to check all your answers. Don't forget! Thank you! Okay, thank you kids. I'm so excited again to be with you on our next discussion for your next lesson next week. Thank you. Have a good day.